Hi, I'm Ellese Elliott, and today we're going to be baking bread on the fire with a Dutch oven, a cast iron Dutch oven pot. So I've got my fire going. It's a little bit smoky at the moment. I think that's the hazel. And I'm just warming up a little bit of water because when we make bread, usually we need warm water. I think that's to activate the yeast. So this is Unit 2 of our Forest School course on baking on the fire. So today we'll be baking bread. So I've got my fire already roasting some peppers because when you bake you need to have had a really hot fire, so it's good to make use of that really hot fire and prepare other foods if you need to, so you're not wasting the fuel and the heat from the fire. So now I think the water is warm enough, so I'm going to use my fire safety glove in the respect position and remove the water from the fire, and I'm going to place it on the stone for a moment, cool, and I'm just going to add a little bit of cold water actually, slightly too hot. So safety is always first. Make sure you have your fire safety gloves, your fire blanket and your fire first aid kit. Make sure you wash your hands with soap for at least 20 seconds with some clean water, which is what I'm going to do now. Bish bosh wash wash, Wellington boots and Macintosh. Okay, make it fun with the kids. Just gonna test that. Okay, so that's fine. I don't actually have another vessel with me, so I'm going to place the flour straight into the water. But generally, when you bake bread, you don't do that. You mix the flour with the salt and the yeast first. And I even put a little bit of sugar because I find it helps to activate the yeast. That might be a myth or it might be true. And then you add the warm water in the middle and you make a well, but let's just hope for the best. We might find the way that doesn't work today, or we might find a different way that works. Okay, so I've just put the baking flour, plain wholemeal, there. I do things by eye. I think that's if you're a pro. Add a pinch of salt, and then you want to add 7 grams of yeast generally. So I think it's 300 grams of flour. The more yeast you put in it, the more it's going to rise until it potentially explodes. I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar in my bread because sugar is the devil. And then I'm going to be making some walnut bread today. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to keep it in this pack, whole walnuts. I'm going to bash it with a rock. So they're all nice and crushed up now. And make sure you dispose of any rubbish. Okay, so now I've got my wooden spoon. Woohoo! I'm going to start mixing these ingredients. So with bread, if you've never made bread before, you want it to be like elastic, like an elastic dough. Look at me making bread in the wilderness. I never thought this would be a possibility, but if I can do it, you can do it. Right, luckily I've got some more flour with me, so just add that. And I'm really, really praying that this isn't going to be too wet. Okay, so that's all got to go in. So, this is a little bit stickier than I would like it, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to now knead the dough and show you what the end result is after it's been kneaded. So I'm going to quickly pause and skip over to video 2 showing you kneading the dough, just to make sure my device is recording it well.